Hey guys, DownfieldComa here, bringing you Call of Duty World War II, my first video on the private beta. In this video, I just want to talk about my thoughts and feelings about the game overall. I wanted to wait until the beta was over with to really collect all my thoughts and feelings and really figure out exactly what I wanted to say about the game. So I know it's been a couple days since the beta ended, so had plenty of time to think about these things and get things put together. So first off is that I am ecstatic that we're getting back to boots on the ground. World War II, this era was an awesome era for video game playing. You've got Call of Duties, Battlefields, everything that was around World War II, just those games. Classic games were amazing. Those things were what brought me into playing video games. Now, like any Call of Duty, any game, I will say that, if you're coming to watch somebody get, 50, 60 kills without a death, or go 70 kills in a game or 100 kills in a game, that's probably not going to be me. And in all likelihood, that's not going to be me. This is not my job. This is something that I do for fun. I enjoy it. It's a hobby. But I will be the first person to admit that I may not be the best at it. With that being said, though, I had a hella amount of fun playing this game. That is something that I can't really say about previous Call of Duties. The past 3 years, with all of the jump in and jump packs and lasers and running on walls and all of this other garbage, I cannot say that I had as much fun as I had in the past 3-4 days playing this beta. Those days playing this beta, the very limited amount of time that I actually played the beta made up for the past 3 years. This game, if they don't make a whole lot of changes, this game will be fantastic. Now, that is not to say that this game does not need changes. First off, I will say that I believe that this should be the last game for this engine. We're on the next gen consoles. This game is beautiful, but we can really start to see some places that this engine is starting to fade a little bit. If you look at some of the graphics and especially like here on the crosshairs, when I zoom in and aim down the sights, the crosshairs, there's a little bit of a blur, there's a little bit of jaggedness, there's just a little bit of an issue when it comes to that. Some of you may be saying, well, hey guy, that's not that big of a deal, but it is that big of a deal, because if we're unable to get these little small details taken care of, then what about the bigger stuff? What about those big things that might be an issue? If we can't get something like this to be taken care of and to be really awesome, I don't have faith and confidence that the stuff down the line is going to be that good either. I might not be willing to buy as much DLC as if all of this stuff was tweaked and is awesome, from the get-go. Now, granted, this is a beta, so hopefully when we get the disc in hand or the download comes, to our consoles, that this thing will be crisp and clear and everything will be great. If that's the case, then I will completely retract everything I said there. My second kind of qualm about it is that, the head glitches in this game are they seem particularly strong. The last game that played Ghosts, Black Ops 2, Black Ops, Modern Warfare, all of those boots on the ground games, of course there were head glitches, but there are some head glitches that you have got to hit one heck of a shot if you think you were going to defeat somebody on the other side of that head glitch. I hope that they are looking at some of these and just tweak them a little bit, shave a little bit off here, take a little bit off there, just some things like that to help make it a little bit more balanced, a little bit more you know, some of these head glitches kind of felt like the other guy was, you know, had God mode turned on. Just things like that we need to, hopefully, we are strong enough as a community to voice these things, to ask for these changes, and they make them. And this is not something that I've just been noticing in my gameplays, but this is something that I've seen and heard a lot of other commentators talk about. So I really hope that people are listening and that they actually do something. And the last thing that I really have to say that is kind of a gripe about it is I'm not sure that it's anything that could really be done about the game, but I would say that there's got to be mechanics that they could work in somewhere, like have the ability to, and okay, let me go back. What I'm talking about is the amount of cheese and camping that I've seen in just the beta. Now, I'm assuming that all of our rank, everything that we've done, is going to count for nothing when the game comes out. I hope that's the case because, you know, I don't want to start off already at a disadvantage on day 1 or day 0. If that's the case, then they could take my pre-order back. I don't want to be dealing with that. I don't want to get online and my first hour of the game have somebody that's already, you know, max level and got all the guns unlocked and all that sort of thing. Just no thank you. But if we're looking at somebody that has okay, so what I'm saying is cheese and camping, we have got to be able to figure out a way to dissuade that, to persuade these people to not do it. So if you stand still for too long, then something happens. Like you start getting pinged on the radar. You know, your grenades don't do as much. You know, there's something along those lines. Somebody has got to come up with something to dissuade these players from just camping in corners, hiding in bushes. And, you know, there are some alleys and lanes that, you know, if you're going down a certain way, you're not really going to be able to see that person that's hiding in the bush. And, you know, they just wait for you to run by, and that's just kind of crappy. So those are all kind of just some random thoughts, but those are mainly the 3 real negatives that I've seen. The graphics need to be worked on, and really the engine just needs to be retired after this game. The head glitches just need to be tweaked a little bit, and there doesn't seem to be anything in the way of, you know, dissuading campers and some of the cheese. But beyond that, don't really have anything negative to say. In fact, I've got a lot of positive things to say. The couple things that I want to say is, first, the way that they are going about the different perks and things is going with the type of guy you're being. You know, infantry, airborne. Each one of those has different levels that you can go through, and you know, each level has kind of the different thing that it adds on to your character or adds on to your class. And I think that's a really interesting and really neat and creative way of taking care of the, you know, 3, 4, 5 different perk selections that we have had in the past. Another thing that I think that is awesome is how they are doing the, you know, you only have the one basic training slot. You know, I've thought that some of the perks, having some of the perks in the past, you know, you've got like 5 or 6 different perks that, you know, the forage, where which is scavenger, you know, lookout, hustle, rifleman. These are pretty cool things, but you can only select one of these. I think that's pretty cool. As far as the gun selections, the guns that I saw, all cool. The different attachments and things like that are the typical Call of Duty attachments, things that we would normally see. But the thing that I was really interested about in the gun selection, which I thought was pretty cool, is that as an airborne guy, you're not going to be able to select a rocket launcher for your secondary. And that completely makes sense, because as an airborne guy, you wouldn't want a rocket launcher as you're parachuting down. You want something light. You're that light running guy that's, you know, just needs light weapons. Anyway, those are some of the thoughts that I had. I know this is kind of disjointed and all over the place, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, favorite, share with a friend. Please let me know down below what you liked and didn't like about the beta. And as always, guys, mind your own grind. Peace.